It's the world's most advanced fighter jet. But in Kerala, it's stranded. A British Royal Navy F-35B which made an emergency landing in Thiruvananthapuram on the 14th of June. And since then, it hasn't moved an inch. No official explanation, no timeline, just global headlines and growing questions. Some are blaming weather, some citing technical snags, but theories now go far deeper. And tonight on the long-form story, we investigate the stealth, the snag, the strange silence around this fifth-generation fighter jet that just can't seem to take off.
It is pudgy, but cruises at supersonic speeds. It appears roly-poly, but lands like a helicopter with absolute ease. Mind you, behind its thick exterior, this British Royal Navy aircraft hides its missiles inside its belly, one of a kind. Sadly, this short king is now making headlines for not-so-versatile reasons. Some call it Fat Amy, some Battle Penguin. But here in India, we recognize this Royal Navy aircraft as the unexpected face of Kerala tourism. A lonely one at that.
F-35B fighter jet that was grounded in the Thiruvananthapuram International Civil Airport on June 14th continues to be in the airport. It has been understood that there is a problem with the hydraulic system of this particular flight, because of which it has been grounded. It had made an emergency landing on June 14th, Saturday night at the Thiruvananthapuram International Airport, and in fact all support was given by the Indian government. However, many days there has been a fiasco that the fighter pilot in fact refused to move away from this flight and refused the Indian authorities request to move it to a hangar as well.
Since departing the United Kingdom in late April, the aircraft carrier operated in the Mediterranean, conducting NATO exercises. On the 9th of June, the Indian Navy's INS Tabar commenced a passage exercise with HMS Prince of Wales and HMS Richmond, part of the UK carrier strike group in the Northern Arabian Sea. This exercise concluded on the 10th of June. The riddle of the F-35 began on the evening of 14th of June when, without warning, the Battle Penguin soared off its carrier to a destination unknown. All this after the exercise was over. The mystery deepens because no one knows the final destination. Flying 100 nautical miles off the coast of Kerala, low fuel and worsening weather forced the F-35B to land unexpectedly at Thiruvananthapuram International Airport. The story doesn't end here. The fighter pilot insisted that he would sit next to the aircraft and not go to the terminal. Stranded under unfamiliar skies for days, the aircraft was halted by a quiet mechanical failure, one that prevented its return to the carrier. The vacation of F-35B in Kerala begins, and with every passing day, it was turning out to be a global embarrassment for Britain. What is the F-35's kill switch theory? Well, some defense analysts claim the US holds ultimate control over the jet's systems through encrypted software and authentication keys. There's no physical switch, but in theory, the jets could be made inoperable without US approval. The Pentagon and Lockheed Martin strongly deny it. But yet, the debate raises a bigger question. In a software-defined fighter jet, who really holds the reins?
What we understand is that for 20 days, the crew members have not been able to identify what the exact problem is. And also, tomorrow they are likely to come. A bigger crew member, around 30 members, are supposed to come in a special military aircraft over here in Thiruvananthapuram, in this very bay.
The Royal Navy's Battle Penguin chose to remain outside in the pouring rain instead of accepting India's gracious offer to shelter it in a hangar. A week later, the British High Commission spokesperson told media that the aircraft would be moved inside once the UK engineering teams arrived. And the plot thickens.
And so that decision would have been taken between Lockheed Martin and Royal Air Force to decide as to whether they could have done this. And I'm sure all these days they would have deliberated in terms of whether the equipment has to come from UK, the equipment has to come from the ship, whether the equipment is to come from US, whether Lockheed Martin team from the factory would need to come, or it could be done by the maintainers from RAF also. So because it's such a complex task, no nation takes a call overnight. And since the safety is involved, because it landed off an emergency, they would not like to have another emergency when it is taking off. I don't think India should be worried about it as much as US or UK would be worried. Primarily the technology is theirs, and they are the people who want to safeguard certain technologies.
Whether this was a red herring for something bigger or a wolf in sheep's clothing, as some defense experts suggest, one thing is clear. The F-35 once again made headlines for all the wrong reasons. Call it a meme fest or an unintentional photo op, the episode didn't exactly bolster the jet's mystique. Stranded for days at the tarmac at Thiruvananthapuram airport, the stealth fighter may not have impressed militarily, but it certainly did wonders for Kerala's tourism. A team of UK aviation experts, engineers and officials arrived in Kerala's capital to begin dismantling the stranded stealth aircraft for transport back to a British naval base. No timeline has been provided yet on how long the process will take. As HMS Prince of Wales sails toward Australia, the final mystery remains. Will the F-35B ever reunite with its mothership? The vacationing of F-35B in Kerala isn't the only incident that has added to the bad press. A string of events linked to F-35 program. In June, Iran made a stunning claim of shooting down Israel's F-35, providing visual evidence. A claim that was vehemently denied by Israel.